Council's shocked. They're attacking Earth? Are they insane? The first human ship did not fire. It screamed. Not through sound, vacuum swallowed that, but through the fabric of space itself. A violent ripple that tore across the void like a wound refusing to heal. Every sensor aboard my observation vessel flared into panic, translating the distortion into impossible readings. Impossible, I whispered, claws tightening against the console. They're breaking inertia. The human vessel, small, crude, barely armed by our standards, accelerated beyond every known limit. Not by thrust, not by field manipulation. It simply decided to go faster. And reality obeyed. Behind it, the Coalition's finest war fleet, 37 capital ships, each capable of sterilizing continents, hung in frozen disbelief. No one fired. No one understood. And in that moment, I realized something that would shatter the Council forever. We had not come to conquer Earth. We had come to awaken it. One setup, they are primitive. My name is Observer Cathar of the Valoran Collective, assigned to the High Council for Xenological Assessment. I had studied humanity for 6 standard cycles. My official conclusion had been simple. Species designation, human. Technological level, emerging. Threat level, negligible. I remember the day the Council approved the invasion. The chamber was vast, its crystalline architecture reflecting the cold light of 100 stars. Representatives from 13 species observed in quiet arrogance as the Terran dossier rotated above us. They fight each other constantly, one counselor said. They divide themselves by territory, belief, pigment. Primitive tribalism. They poison their own biosphere, another added. A species that destroys its home does not deserve it. And yet, I had hesitated then, something uneasy stirring within me. They adapt rapidly. Their technological growth is irrelevant, the High Arbiter interrupted. We have seen this pattern before. They will fracture under pressure. A ripple of agreement passed through the chamber. Then came the decision that would echo through history. Earth will be annexed. Resistance is statistically insignificant. I remember speaking one final warning. They are unpredictable. The Arbiter's eyes narrowed. Observer Cathar, unpredictability is not power. I wish with every fiber of my being that he had been right. Kerr flashback to me, we have been waiting. We believed we had been watching them. We were wrong. They had been watching us. 43 Earth years before the invasion, a human scientist stood before a flickering screen, her voice trembling not with fear but with certainty. They're out there. The room was silent. Governments had denied it for decades, dismissed sightings, buried evidence. But now signals, structured, deliberate, unmistakably artificial, had been detected. They're not just observing, she continued. They're cataloging, studying. A general leaned forward. For what purpose? The scientist met his gaze. Preparation. What followed was not panic. It was something far more dangerous. Unity. Not publicly, not yet. Humanity still argued, fought, divided itself on the surface. But beneath that chaos, something else began to grow. Hidden alliances. Black budget programs. Shared knowledge that transcended borders. They called it many things in different languages. But in the end, it became known as the Long Defiance. 30 years before invasion, a classified facility deep beneath Antarctic ice. Engineers stared at equations that should not exist. Energy input doesn't match output, one whispered. Because it's not about energy, another replied. It's about intent. They had discovered something fundamental. The universe was not entirely indifferent. Under extreme conditions, human neural patterns, specifically collective focus under stress, could influence probabilistic outcomes at the quantum level, barely measurable, barely real, but there. And humans, more than any species we had ever encountered, possessed one defining trait. They refused to accept limits. Rising tension. This should be easy. The invasion began exactly as predicted. Orbital dominance was established within minutes. Human satellites fell like sparks in a storm. Communications fractured. Major cities braced for annihilation. We expected surrender. Instead, we got silence. Then resistance. Ground forces engaged, reported Commander Vexal aboard the flagship. Localized, ineffective. I watched the feed. Human soldiers, outmatched, outgunned, fought with reckless defiance. They ambushed, Adapted. Improvised weapons from debris and shattered infrastructure. One human, bleeding heavily, laughed as he charged a plasma unit with nothing but an explosive strapped to his chest. You wanted Earth? Come and take it. The blast consumed him, and 3 of our elite troops. Commander Vexel scoffed. Primitive bravado. But I noticed something he did not. They were not fighting to win. They were fighting to delay. Or flashback. We will not be easy prey. 15 years before invasion. A covert summit. Representatives from rival nations sat together in a room that officially did not exist. We cannot match them in firepower, one said. Then we don't, another replied. Silence. Then a quiet voice from the corner. A young strategist, eyes sharp with something unsettling. We make them fight a war they don't understand. All eyes turned. He stepped forward. We let them think we're weak. First emotional moment. Why do you fight? Back in orbit, I observed something that changed me. A human city devastated, burning. Civilians evacuating under bombardment. Among them, a child clutched the hand of an older man, her grandfather. I later learned. They hid in the ruins as our drones passed overhead. The child's voice trembled. Grandpa, are we going to die? The old man knelt, placing his hands gently on her shoulders. His face was lined with age, but his eyes burned with something I could not comprehend. No, he said softly. But they're stronger, she whispered. He smiled. Strength isn't everything. Sometimes, it's about refusing to stop. She looked up at him. Even if we're scared? He nodded. Especially then. 6. The reveal. We were never unprepared. The first anomaly report came 6 hours into the invasion. Energy fluctuations detected, an officer said. Unidentified source. Then another. And another. Across the planet. Localized distortions. Probability deviations. Our targeting systems began to fail. Shots missed by fractions. Weapons malfunctioned. Ships hesitated. They're influencing outcomes, I whispered. That is impossible, Vexel snapped. No, I said slowly. It's human. Themaclimax, we do not surrender. The fleet fired, and missed. Not wildly. Just enough. The human ship surged forward. Inside, civilians, eyes closed. Holding on. Believing. We've been waiting for you. You think we're weak? We've survived worse than you. We don't need to beat you. We just need to outlast you. Then, millions joined. A planet refusing defeat. Reality bent. Our fleet collapsed. Not destroyed. Rejected. 8 ending. Humanity unleashed. Earth survived. Scarred. Burning. Unbroken. I sent my final report. No, they are not insane. A pause. We were. Below humanity spoke. We're still here. And I understood. They don't win because they are stronger. They win because they refuse to lose. And that is far more terrifying. Humanity unleashed.